Hi, I'm Errette Dunn, Principal Consultant here at Wrike. Before joining Wrike, I worked at Toyota, where I could experience firsthand their world-famous production system, also known as lean manufacturing. Today, we're going to talk about how knowledge workers can use some of those lean principles to make the work more efficient. Now let's get started. As you may know, lean is all about creating and maximizing value through methodical, continuous improvement of daily work done by everyone. Now, one of the many ways that you can continuously improve your work on a daily basis is by identifying and eliminating waste. Now, what is waste in the first place? The Japanese refer to it as muda, anything that is superfluous, anything that is not helping you transform your inputs or your work in progress into something that is closer to what the customer is expecting. In short, anything, any activity that the customer is not willing to pay for. Why focus on waste elimination? Because on average, from the moment that a need is identified until the moment where we deliver it, 95% of that time is non-value adding, waste. Therefore, there's a huge opportunity to be very efficient by eliminating those sections that the customer is not willing to pay for, with little investment and small effort. Lean manufacturing normally categorizes waste in 7 types: transportation, inventories, motion, waiting, overprocessing, overproduction, and defects. You can easily remember them for the first letters of each category, Timwood. I will provide some examples of what these wastes mean in an industrial environment. Transportation refers to the movement of objects. Moving something from point A to point B does not add value to a product, unless, of course, you're a distribution company. Inventories refer to the stock of raw materials, work in progress, or finished goods. Storage is expensive, the product can devalue, and inventories hide many other problems that actually cost you money. Motion refers to the unnecessary movement of people. If you're constantly walking from one place to another to get your equipment, your materials, you're not adding value to the product that you're delivering. Waiting is time spent inactive, either waiting to be told what to do or waiting for materials or information to do your job. Overprocessing refers to redundant or unnecessary processes, or it is also about putting more into the product than is required by the customer. Overproduction is one of the worst wastes. It's simply producing more quantity than is required or before it's required. It's one of the worst wastes because it generates all the others. Defects refers to any product or service that does not meet customer requirements. Now, as you can see, all of these wastes are easily identifiable in a manufacturing environment. This is not necessarily the case for knowledge work, so I will provide some examples of what those mean for daily office work. Transportation, for instance, refers to unnecessary movement of information. Some examples would be moving information from one database or a piece of software to another. Another example could be multiple handoffs in a business process. Inventories. This refers to any job that you have started but not finished yet. Some examples come when you batch similar type of work to be done at once, where things are waiting on your inbox or in your backlog. Motion refers again to unnecessary movement of people. This could be, of course, physically around your office from one place to another, but also digitally within a piece of software when you have to do unnecessary clicks to go from one place to another. Waiting is about people waiting for information or information waiting for people. Some examples could be when you're waiting for a validation by management or when you're waiting for information in order to finish your deliverable. Overprocessing. Some examples of overprocessing could be the over-engineering of specifications, or it could be, as an example, when you do a detailed analysis and report, when everything that was required was simply the raw data. Another good example is when you do a finished and beautiful polished article, when in fact the only thing that was required was a first initial draft for discussion. Overproduction, as I mentioned, is about delivering before it was required or in larger quantities than required. In knowledge work, this happens very often when you do work in advance and then when that output becomes obsolete after a decision has been made. Defects in knowledge work refers to any work that you deliver for which you're receiving some questions for clarifying afterwards. Or another example could be unplanned iterations. So, what can you do about this? Start with 2 simple questions. Number 1, what is the purpose of my job? Number 2, who am I creating value for? Once this is clear, then you can select one of your deliverables. Observe very closely what you're doing in order to achieve it, step by step. When you identify any of the 7 wastes on those steps, try to eliminate it if possible. If you can't eliminate it, at least try to minimize it, and you will see how you will be able to achieve more by doing less. That's all for today. If you would like to learn more about this and other similar subjects, visit us at wrike.com/blog. See you next time.